Today I have come with an utterly delicious pickle recipe using green mangoes. It is known as Amer Achar in Bengali or Laccha Achar in Hindi, where Am refers to mangoes and Achar is pickle. This particular pickle doesn't need to be cured under the sun, and you can start having it after 2 days from the day it is made. That's the beauty of this recipe. Namaskar and welcome to Curries with Boombi. You need raw green mangoes for making any mango pickle. You can use larger ones or medium ones compared to these, but they need to be green like this. I submerged the mangoes in water for about an hour and then washed the mangoes very well and then dried them with a kitchen towel and left it on the counter for an hour so that the surface gets bone dry. Next, you need to cut the stem ends off. I like taking out the seeds. Next, peel them. See how the mangoes are green inside? These type of green mangoes are always selected for making mango pickle. Mango pickle can be made in several ways, but I think this recipe is the easiest one amongst all. Next, I will be using a handheld grater to grate the mangoes. Use the side that has large holes to grate. You do not want to grate them too fine. Okay, I'm done with grating all the mangoes. I transferred them into a deep bowl. Into this, add 1 tablespoon of salt. We need to add more salt as that will act as a preservative. Then 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder. Mix very well, cover it and keep it aside while you do your other prep work. Next, coming to the oil. I used 3/4 of a cup of groundnut oil. You can use any cooking oil of your choice. Now in India, mustard oil is popularly used for making pickles. But whenever you go to any Indian grocery store in USA, all bottles of mustard oil are labeled as for external use only. So I just cannot recommend using mustard oil. But if you live in a place where there are no restrictions like this, then you can happily use mustard oil. Heat the oil very well on high heat till it becomes nearly smoking hot. My oil is smoking hot, so I switched off the heat. Now allow this oil to cool down a little bit. Once it cools down a bit, add 1 teaspoon of hing, that is asafoetida. See how bubbles are forming on the oil? That means the oil is still warm, but if you had added the hing when the oil was smoking hot, then it would have burned and turned bitter. So allow the oil to cool down a little bit and then add hing. Now you need to cool down this oil further. So allow this to come to room temperature. Next, we will be making the pickle masala. In a pan, add 1 tablespoon of mustard seeds. I used yellow mustard seeds. You can use black or brown mustard seeds. Then a tablespoon of whole coriander seeds, a tablespoon of fennel seeds, half teaspoon of black peppercorns, and 1/4 teaspoon of fenugreek seeds, that is methi. Roast these spices on low heat. Roast them till they turn aromatic, but please do not roast them too much. The spices should not lose their color. The reason why the whole spices are roasted is to get rid of any moisture. Moisture is the number 1 enemy for any pickle. Once they turn aromatic, switch off the heat and allow them to cool down completely. Okay, my friends, the spices have cooled down completely. So now I will grind them. Use the pulse mode of your blender to grind them. You do not want to grind them too fine or powdery, but keep them a little bit coarse. Not too coarse though, but a little bit. Okay, come to assembling the pickle. The mangoes had been sitting for a while, and the salt here is helping the mangoes to soften down already. Add the ground masala to the mangoes. Then add a teaspoon of nigella seeds, that is kalonji. Kalonji needs to be added whole like this. You do not have to roast or grind them. And then a heaped tablespoon of Kashmiri red chilli powder. You can go up to 2 tablespoons of Kashmiri red chilli powder if you want it to be very spicy. Now using a spoon, mix very well. Make sure the spoon is dry and clean. I added a tablespoon of sweet paprika to get the bright color, but it is totally optional. You can add more Kashmiri chili powder to get that color. But please remember, the more the chili powder, the hotter the pickle becomes. After mixing very well, add half of the oil and save the rest for later. Again mix very well. Here the oil also acts like a preservative, so that will prevent the pickle from spoiling. Okay, after everything gets well mixed, transfer this to a clean glass bottle. Clean the bottle with boiling hot water in which you will store your pickle, and it should be totally dry before adding the pickle. In fact, I would suggest cleaning and drying the bottle a day before you make the pickle. Okay, after transferring everything into the jar, add the rest of the oil over it. Your pickle needs to be submerged in oil. Since this pickle doesn't need to be put out under the sun, oil needs to be covering the pickle. If at any time while using the pickle you see the oil not on the surface, then again heat some oil, cool it down completely and pour it on top. Now you can close the lid and keep it on the counter for 2 days, but it won't be harming if you keep it under the sun. In that case, like if you want to keep it outdoors under the sun, cover the mouth of the bottle with a cloth, securing it with a rubber band or thread. In this way, there won't be any condensation when you bring it back inside. If you keep it on the countertop, you need not cover it with a cloth. You do this only if you keep it outdoors under the sun. You can also keep it on a sunny windowsill. In these 2 days, just give a mix with a clean dry spoon once, and you can have this from the 3rd day. Please remember, always use a clean dry spoon whenever you take out the pickle. Please do not put your finger inside the bottle and take out the pickle. The pickle should remain submerged in oil. If you do not want to use so much oil, then add 2 tablespoons of white vinegar or apple cider vinegar to this. But my friends, please remember, oil acts as a preservative here. This will stay good at room temperature for about 5 to 6 months. You can keep it in the refrigerator if you want to store it longer for a year. Once in a while, you can put it under the sun if possible, but that is not necessary at all. So hope you liked this and will be trying this recipe. Bye bye.